Hello, listeners. It's Seamus here. We hope you're enjoying the. Hello, listeners. It's Seamus. Hello, listeners. It's Seamus here. We hope you're enjoying.
Hello, everybody. I'm Seamus,
and I'm Barry,
and welcome to the Design and Podcast.
We're going to be talking about UI and UX design, graphic design, branding, career tips, and the business of design. Enjoy!
What's been going on?
So parenting, that's what's been happening. But getting into the swing of it now. Last night was a little bit rough. Morgan didn't sleep very well, but it's better doing the podcast later in the day still.
Does that mean Daddy didn't sleep well?
I slept better than Becca did, put it that way. But he was wasn't happy last night, just wouldn't settle. But you get used to it.
So you're back to work? Back to the
grind. Yeah, back to Moken.
How is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. We had a few calls this morning, just going over some things that I'd missed out on over the last month. And we had some internal critiques. It's nice to be back and having input and helping the guys out and seeing all the amazing work that they've done without me around. So, who needs me?
Yeah, we've got a talented bunch there. I'm surprised. How did it go with leads and getting more clients and business progression? Was that sort of paused, or did you keep that going?
Yeah, that was paused for the month. I was off, but all the active accounts remained active and were managed efficiently, so no complaints.
That is superb.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I've been working. I went back to Belfast over the weekend.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was good fun. I went to see a friend of mine called Colin. He's a comedian. I went to go see a gig of his. I went and helped out with some of the camera recording, and then I came back on the Sunday. It was like a 24-hour trip. Really good fun.
No, is he your friend that's a bit of a TikTok star?
Yeah, well, he was voted the most famous person in Northern Ireland, above Rory McIlroy. He done a whole video series called The Barry the Blender Henderson. It's really fun, really funny, but it's off his time, 2009. And now he's a podcaster and a comedian, and I'm doing some t-shirts for him. Or I've been doing some t-shirts for him.
Nice, good contact.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. He hasn't got much feedback. I just do loads of really cool stuff, and he comes back and goes, "Brilliant, let's do it." Yeah, so
amazing. So, are those t-shirts for sale yet, or have they gone to print?
Yeah, I did a whole bunch for him there at the beginning of the year, and we're just slowly releasing them, or he's just slowly releasing them, and I'm just sending them off to print. So it's pretty good.
Amazing.
Going down well.
That sounds great.
We're going to try and get a whole bunch done now for Christmas. It's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. But here, what about Facebook and the whole meta?
I know.
What do you think?
Everything we've been talking about has just come to fruition over the last week. I couldn't believe it. They've rebranded to Meta. And did you watch the announcement that Mark Zuckerberg made?
No, I never watched it. I did read all about it, and it's quite exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's basically what we've been describing in our other episodes. We got it down to a T. Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and first I've been thinking about design as I could be arguably classed as a glorified sales technique. All right, but I don't think we have to deal with the same design problems that designers before us had to do. The designers before us had to worry about what's the potential of the internet, where we're beyond that, and we're now focusing on what else can we do and what's the metaverse and stuff. I was wondering, what do you think our role is as designers in the metaverse and in the virtual reality world? What can we bring to the table as graphic designers and UI designers and all the above?
Yeah, that's a very big question.
Good morning. Oh, you've missed us, haven't you, Barry?
Oh, so much. Just dropping questions on me like that. So I think we touched on it in a previous episode, but we need to, I think, first of all, we're going to have to skill up massively. I think there's going to be probably new tools to use and a new way of thinking. So a lot of designers that are still working on a 2D sphere of some kind or whatever now need to start thinking about interacting with objects and engaging on a more 3D virtual level. I mean, I think it's just going to be a massive shift in design thinking so from having something that was maybe set in stone as a deliverable to designing for the metaverse or for virtual reality or augmented reality. Literally anything, I suppose, is possible, can be designed or created and built without any limitations. But I think design thinking for business problems will still be the same. We'll still gather research. We'll still help to build products the way we do now. And we'll still go through usability testing and QA and all that kind of stuff. But it's really hard to tell until it kind of reaches that next level. I think from where we are now, it's difficult to know in which direction we're heading and how we're going to design for it. And I guess we're waiting for Facebook's lead on this.
Do you think there's going to be a ton of virtual reality companies popping up over the next 10 years? And as you said, every single one of those new companies will need identity systems and will need websites for advertising and promotions and all that stuff that we currently work on. And then what they'll need is in-product design work, which I just can't wrap my head around what I can do, what I can offer them.
That's a really good answer there, Seamus. It's like you've had time to think about the question before we spoke about it.
I just said exactly what you just said. I rephrased it. I paraphrased. Arguably, I did it in a better way, but that's up to you.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. I can see lots of virtual businesses. Virtual high streets, maybe, dress your avatar, you're going out for a meal in a virtual restaurant with people or just hanging out at the cinema. In Oculus at the moment, you can still go to the cinema with your friends, which is quite a surreal kind of experience if you haven't.
That's quite
actually. Cool. Yeah, so you've got a massive screen in front of you and you can have a virtual popcorn, you can throw things at each other and you just enjoy watching the film together.
And you can't accidentally kiss your mate, can you?
No.
What's the point?
I'm out. Has that happened to you?
No.
Sounds like it has.
But as I was saying at the start, that we're quite malleable as an industry with our skill set. We're always adapting to the changes. Moving from analog to digital and moving from digital to website and then developing UI and UX. And arguably, we probably trailblaze as designers. We trailblaze that sort of category when we're thrown into it. Mm-hmm. Because these companies, as we just said, needs to communicate and know how to not miscommunicate. But then we're talking about in product or in the virtual world design, and I reckon I could see me designing clothing that you can just try on with your avatar, mm-hmm. and you can go, "Oh, I like this T-shirt. I'm going to buy that T-shirt." And I can see the shop that you can design, but that's more falling into game design, isn't it?
It feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe it means that there's more of a collaboration between designers outside of the metaverse. So, like a games designer would still need a fashion designer to design the T-shirt before they can recreate it to be purpose-built for the metaverse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe everything we design in the real world just needs now an extra layer. There's another process on top of what we do already with a virtual reality designer or a metaverse designer. So in a way, maybe that is the new industry, becoming those metaverse designers.
Yeah.
And partnering up with existing designers.
And obviously, like with the birth of the internet, came across pop-up banners. Surely that's going to be one of the trends we'll see in these virtual reality worlds, that we'll have to be designing murals for walls, but essentially we won't be doing it in centimeters, we'll be doing it in pixels. And we'll have to be doing billboards essentially, but they'll just be pop-up adverts and big billboard campaigns mixed together, which is quite odd to wrap your head around, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. There's some really cool virtual reality graffiti artists out there. You can check them out on YouTube. So, I mean, they could still take commissions in the metaverse being a digital graffiti artist.
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty fun, actually. Now my head's racing, going, can I learn what device do you need to buy so it feels like a spray can so you can spray paint things? That'd be really fun.
Yeah. So it's just the controller that you use, the Oculus controller at the moment.
Oh, yes. Well, straight in, deep question. Hope you're okay with that one.
Oh, yeah, we got through it. Hi everyone, I'm Barry, the owner of the digital design agency Moken.Digital. We team up with startups, agencies and founders to design digital products and websites. If you're interested in learning more about the work we do at Moken, you can visit our website at www.moken.digital, and you can also check out our Instagram at @wearemoken.
So you didn't. Oh yeah. So what about the Spotify? Was it Spotify that gave us the stats on what our current listeners are, also what musicians they're currently listening to? Which
gave
was
us
brilliant.
Some stats. Yeah.
It was Ariana Grande. It was Oasis, Jungle, Drake, and Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
Two categories that you'd never Two categories that you'd never see together. Jungle and Ariana Grande.
Yeah, it's like they've just taken my playlist.
Is that your play? Is it just
it's skewed? It's me listening to us over and over again.
Oh my god! So you wake up, you listen to a bit of Jungle in the afternoon after your coffee. You've had a bit of Arctic Monkeys, and then into the evening, Ariana Grande to put you to sleep.
No, she gets me through the day.
Oh, does she? You ever see the music video of her, where she's running around shooting stuff out of her boobs?
No.
It's class.
I mean, what's she shooting out of her boobs? I mean,
bullets.
Milk?
What else? What else would you be shooting out of your boobs? Bullets.
Well, I have a breastfeeding wife at the moment, so milk, maybe.
That's disgusting. I'm only joking. Right here. I think there's something interesting in that the designers before us we don't have the same problems they experienced and the designers before them. What sort of problems do you think designers in the 90s had that we just don't have at the minute?
Having to organize runners with floppy disks from one place to another to exchange data and imagery and handing over documents to printers and things like that.
Yeah, there was loads of problems in progress, wasn't there? Moving into that technology world.
Yeah, so now we can just, email things over or have it on cloud.
Surely many of them wouldn't have heard of the word pixels. 1080 by 1920. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was a kid.
I think it's quite interesting that they would, if they ran out of the lowercase letter A when they were typesetting, they'd be like, what do we do? Do we try and get an Arial letter S to replace the Helvetica letter A?
Oh.
Which is blasphemy in my opinion.
Controversial.
But for us, I just press a key. What else? What about designers in the 80s?
In the 80s?
Yeah, what do you think they suffered that we never have to suffer?
Malfunctioning photocopiers.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
David Carson, was he the 80s or was he the 90s? He might have been the 90s.
I reckon he was 80s. Surely not earlier than 80s. 80s?
Because he leaned into those mistakes that the photocopier made.
Yeah, and he made a...
Him and Nigel Farage. No,
Nigel Farage!
Neville Brody, sorry. That's how good I am with words.
Yeah. Nigel Farage on your mind.
Found a really fun advert that I wanted to show you.
Oh, the free.
Yeah, the free. Did you see it? Free.
I watched it, yeah.
It's so good, isn't it? One of the best advertising slogans of all time. Free.
It's
free,
all
free.
Free. TurboTax is free.
Because that's the court case. So for all those people who are listening and can't see us, it's a advertisement for TurboTax is the name of the company, and they're promoting that they're cheaper than everyone else of some sort. So they use the word free. So the scenario in the advert is a court case, and it's a lawyer standing up and giving his final statement, and every word he says is free. And then the jury stand up and they're all clapping, shouting free, and the judge is saying free, and it's
one of the
best adverts ever.
Well executed.
Could you imagine presenting that script to the client?
Yeah. Brilliant.
3 images of a court case and then the word free in the script times 50. Right. Do you want to answer some questions? I got some questions for you that came in through the social media.
Why don't you answer the questions?
Well, some are for me and some are for you.
All right, okay.
Barry, this has come from John in Sheffield. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Barry, what's your favorite app for its UI? What's your favorite looking app?
Okay, so there's I guess it's a meditation app called Waking Up, and it's recently been through a UI reskin, and it's really nice. So check that one out if you're into UI reskins.
Has it got a USP to the visual look of it, so it stands out from Calm?
It's just, it's nothing like Calm. So Calm is pretty light in its styling. This is quite ultra modern and takes a dark theme approach.
Is that the one with the purple in it?
No, just...
What's the one I'm thinking of? The purple?
Dark blues and almost like a neon blue in there as well.
Oh, nice. And what does it do? Does it measure your sleep, or what is it?
No, it's like daily meditation practice and talks and discussions around mental health and topics like that.
What would you rate out of 10 at UI?
Ooh, 7 or an 8.
Oh, that's pretty high. What about its UX?
Yeah, it's pretty high. It's easy to use, so spot on. Yeah, 8.
Right, my question. Can you see my question to ask me, or do you want me
to? So no, it's fine. Yeah, Seamus. So this is from Sophie in London.
Hi, Sophie.
What's the best ad campaign slogan ever created?
Oh, free. Free.
Okay, I've got another one for you.
Hit me.
This is from a Rachel in South London.
Hey, Rachel.
And
South London.
She has said, I don't know whether I should go to university or not, and it feels like my teachers are trying to get rid of me and send me to Glasgow or Falmouth. Any advice? Okay. Trying to get rid of her. Any advice, Seamus?
I wonder why they're trying to get rid of her. Yeah, what's wrong with Falmouth and Glasgow School of Art? They're one of the best. Yeah. One of the best. You'd be lucky to get into them. If you can get into those universities, get into them and go. And Cornwall's a great place, and Glasgow's a fantastic place as well.
But the thing is, I mean, I'm guessing she's doing her A-levels or whatever they're called these days. And whether her teachers are trying to get rid of her or not, she has to go somewhere after her A-levels. So you might as well go to university. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what university you go to. Just go. Yeah. I think I am, in this day and age, in 2021, I'd recommend university to to any A-level student. I would recommend a foundation degree as well.
Mm.
But I think I would highly recommend it because we're not quite there yet with other courses that can offer you the same skills. There's an amazing course by Shillington, graphic design course, which is I heard it's very strong, and I know a few people who've come out of there and have talked very highly of it. And there's an amazing school over in, I think it's in California called, is it Design? No, it's not called Design. Center, and both centers are spelled the British way and the American way. And it's not a university credited course, but it's incredible. And it's the course I wish I would have done. But that's only in one place, and that hasn't been rolled out across nationwide yet. So I reckon that my answer is going to change in a few years once that catches on, that course. But I would definitely recommend going to uni. What about you? Would you recommend it, or?
Yeah, especially in the UK, I think. But I think there's more focus being placed on creative subjects in a new curriculum that the government seems to be rolling out. I think it's going to be called T-levels or something like that. And it actually includes things like UX design, product design, project management, these kinds of things. So I think they're trialing it in a few schools and colleges to begin with, but it's almost going to be seen as, when people go to college and learn a trade like plumbing or bricklaying and things like that, there'll be colleges purpose-built for digital products and working in the creative industry.
Which would be amazing. I think I got speaking to someone who's working on that T-levels projects, and they said, it says that it's got those USPs which you just mentioned, which are the selling points for to go there rather than go to tech. And also they're going to be very industry-led courses. So you have to do placements throughout, and there's quite a few placements. So there's going to be quite a lengthy time dedicated to doing placements. So you're working on a job and working at university. What do you think of that? What do you think of placements while you're studying for those 3 years?
I think it's really beneficial, actually. We did it in our second year at university, didn't we? Was it the second year? Or
it was third year? Beginning of third year.
Beginning of third year. And it was 2 months, I think, we went and worked at a placement for. And it's a really good insight into the industry because it's just so different from what you're actually learning at university and what you've done at college. Different dynamic. As soon as you throw the business aspect into design, it flips everything on its head, and it makes you think in a different way, and things need to be presented differently to how you present at university. Not everything is presented in a little black book full of sketches. It needs to be really polished before you put it in front of a client. So it's good to be around people that can hit that standard, hit that level, and just to listen in on more senior people, talking to clients and talking to teammates and picking up on that professionalism.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought everything that you mentioned there should be taught in a 6-month course after you've graduated. I always thought that should be a master's, whether you pay for that or not. I don't really care. It's just then.
Yeah, I've thought about it in the past, like replicating the design agency experience and, workshops like that at university. If you could fit them into one of the modules, I think would really pay off for when students go to their interviews for their perm jobs after graduating.
So that's a solution, is getting more students into the professional world while studying. So I'm guessing the problem that they're trying to solve there is the students aren't feeling like they're industry ready when they graduate. Do you think that's it?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well. But I'm on the opposite side of this discussion, where I don't think any student should be working in industry while studying. Because what happens if you have the next Mr. Bingo or the next Jonathan Barnbrook, and they go into a local marketing company and they get the worst experience ever, like the worst design culture ever, and they get thrown out of. They just don't like working. They just don't fit in that culture, and they want to move on.
I guess it's a roll of the dice, isn't it? But I think the designers that you mentioned, like Mr. Bingo, they're few and far between, aren't they? Not everyone reaches that level of almost like celebrityism within the design industry. So I think, but it's good as well. Maybe if that is you and you end up at a marketing agency, then you've got more, like Mr. Bingo would use it as ammunition to create more piss-taking memes or whatever he does, you know?
I went to talk to him, and that sounds familiar. I think he actually did that, or he was in a bank of some sort, and he used that as ammunition, as you said. Quite interesting.
Yeah, more material.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure. Like this center design school is specifically built around solving that problem in university or in the course, rather than shoving people out to the industry world. That the guy that started it sat down with all the managers of Facebook and Airbnb and all the Silicon Valley companies and says, why aren't you hiring juniors coming out of university? And they all says they're not quite ready. So he created the course that makes them ready, rather than them trying to do placements. I think that's a better solution. I think students studying while and working and doing placements at the same time is almost like a band-aid. It's a bandage, just trying to fix the problem. But the real problem is the curriculum.
Yeah.
And the length of time. Wow, thanks for that. What a question. Who was that from?
That was from... Oh, sorry, I just switched my tab. It was...
Someone from South London.
Yeah, Rachel from South London.
Rachel, go to Falmouth, go to Glasgow, go to Central St Martin's or London College of Communication, go to university. We have a question here for specifically for you, Barry, from Craig. He's in the Whirl. The Whirl's close to you, isn't it?
It's not too far, about an hour and a half.
What
like
a Whirl.
Anyway, yeah, the Whirl.
Craig's question is, how do you get clients? I've been trying, but I just can't seem to get new clients, and the ones that I get are so down on the marketplace, so down low on the marketplace that it's just not worth working on. Good question. How do you get clients, Barry?
There's so many facets to landing clients. I can only go from my own experience, really. So my first recommendation would be, if you haven't, try and work for an agency or a permanent employer of some kind before going down the freelance route, just to build up on your experience and understand how they attract their clients and how they present and how they pitch to clients, because you'll learn a lot from that process. And then when you come away, and also whilst you're at that job, try to network with as many people as you can, because those people are going to help you further down the line in your career. And a lot of the client, if you're at an agency, perhaps maybe you're the main designer on an account, and in a couple of years' time, when you're not there, they're not working with that agency anymore, and they might get in touch with you and want to work with you, and they'll reach out to you and they'll pass your name on to other clients that they have. So it's very much so word of mouth still, just as much as you should work on your portfolio. So have your own website, and have profiles on freelancer marketplaces like Upwork. Upwork is the best one for me and for Moken. Probably attracts around 80% of our work at the moment. So build up your reviews on Upwork. Maybe start with your rate slightly lower than it should be. Take a few jobs just to build up your reputation, and just so it's proof of concept to work with you and that you're a nice guy. And then take it from there and just send out as many proposals as you possibly can per day, because attracting clients and sales is essentially just a numbers game. Eventually, you're going to hit on one that is interested in you, that likes your personality, that likes the work that you've got to show. You'll hit it off and you'll start working on a big contract. So it's literally the numbers game. Get through as many proposals as you can.
And is your rating on people per hour and Upwork, is your rating on that as important as your portfolio? Yes,
I'd say so. You really want to keep your clients happy, do good work, be honest with them. If there's something that you can't do, I think they'd rather know rather than throw money at it or at you to try and figure it out. Or if the case is that you're honest with them and say, I've not done this type of design before, but I'm sure I could do it with a bit of time to research, then they're more understanding when it comes to the process. Don't pretend to be the expert in something if you're not, and just be true to yourself and true to your design ethics.
What about in real life clients? Is that also something that you explore?
What do you mean real life clients? They are real life clients.
But going to conferences and talking and being part of groups and talking to other business owners. Is that another
networking. That's a good point. So there's, especially if you're close to a city or a big city, as well, there used to be before the pandemic. They're probably all Zoom conferences and stuff now. So like startup accelerator events where people are going to learn, or startup owners or people with ideas for a startup are going there to learn about how to finance their company. So it's a good opportunity to turn up as a designer and to make friends with all these people with great ideas who are looking for funding to have their product designed, because, it's two birds, one stone for them. They're going there to learn about funding, but funnily enough, a designer has turned up that they've got on with, and now they know who to contact when it comes to designing the product.
Brilliant. That should be your book.
That should be my book.
Be your memoir. That was
yeah.
That was good as answer as it gets. Nice. What did you think of Squid Game?
I thought it was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most iconic things that I've seen, or instantly iconic things I've seen since Stranger Things.
I just binge watched it.
Yeah, the sets were just incredible. It was so powerful, like visually powerful, and storyline was quite fun. Quite tense, but it was just visually iconic.
And it's already having a cultural impact in South Korea as well, because the green tracksuits that they all wear.
Mm-hmm.
So when Squid Games became popular, all of a sudden everything on the high street that was the same green, like all the clothes and stuff, was all of a sudden on sale because nobody wanted to be associated with the poor people in Squid Game. True story.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
now,
people don't wear that color out and about. Apparently, this is what I learned from another podcast, Guardian podcast.
Oh. Yeah. I saw June over the weekend or on Friday night, and I plan to go see it. I plan to go see it again next week.
Oh, is it good?
It is stunning.
Oh, I really
absolutely stunning. I've done all the books. I've listened to them and I've read them, so I'm quite deep in that world. But
okay, cool.
I can imagine it's quite confusing for people who just aren't into sci-fi and
right. Yeah,
but
I'm not massively into it. But the reviews I've seen are amazing, so I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, there's a whole scene where the camera is underexposed because it's at nighttime and it's really difficult to see, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredibly done.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's and it sets up. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's I'm definitely going to go see it again next week with another friend. Loved it.
Ellis. Yeah. I wonder if I can take my 5-week-old baby boy.
Yes, that's legal.
To the cinema. Why not?
Great, right? Shall we wrap up from there?
Yeah, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here. Recording? Is your phone recording?
Yeah.
Are you getting your reels? Getting your reels,
Getting the reels.
People are going to see.
Getting the reels.
What?
Yeah, so phone is recording, and just the mic. To the moon.
And back.
That's a crypto saying. To the moon.
Oh, is it?
To the moon. Bitcoin to the moon. So much money to the moon.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Have you missed me?
Telling me what to do and how to do it, and me giving my opinion and you going, yeah, but we're going to do this. I missed that. I'm joking.
We have a great friendship.
Did I spell it?